Hi, third graders. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, and it is actually the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So, we're going to find some ways to celebrate Earth today. I'm going to meet with you at 10 o'clock for our class Zoom session where I'm going to talk about the Heathcote Art and Poetry Festival, where Mr. Casal started to talk about it yesterday, and I'm going to continue to fill you in on some of the details. And I'm also going to be addressing some of the amazing questions you had about evaporation and groundwater that you wrote about on the Padlet yesterday. The questions were so wonderful, and I thought they were really, really thoughtful and reflective of the time you took to engage in that interactive water cycle model. So I'm going to show you some videos I think you're really going to like that are going to answer some of the questions. All of your specials teachers are here on the gateway, and you've got your questions Padlet. Now, I've created a list of special Earth Day activities. You do not have to do any of these, but I really encourage you to look around and click on some of the links and see some videos and ask yourself some of these questions. And some of them are very simple, even like a coloring sheet celebrating Earth Day and a word search. But anything we can do to acknowledge how we can protect the world around us. And I think you'll find that you'll really like some of these activities. So check those out. You can go ahead and turn in all after you've had about 3 days with your spelling words this week. So if you log into Pearson Realize and you've tried the interactive sorts and the blind sorts and you've done all your speed sorts and things like that, you're welcome to turn in all after today. For reading, you're going to complete 30 minutes of independent reading as always. I actually want to check in with you today at our Zoom to hear what you have been reading. I really miss talking about books with you guys, so please be prepared to talk about one of your favorite things that you've read so far. As part of your independent reading today, I need you to complete reading the book Acrostic Poems. That was assigned to you in Epic. It is the same series as the book that you read yesterday about Cinquain poems, but this one is acrostic poems. So please complete this reading, and I'll be checking to see if we've completed it because it will help you when you do your acrostic poem today. So watch the lesson about acrostic poetry. I know many of you are familiar with it, but we're kind of stepping it up here in third grade. You can go ahead to this Read, Write, Think interactive acrostic maker that I talk about in the lesson. And so you'll know more about it after you watch it. And here is the link there. Just a reminder, in order for it to work, you need to have Flash on your device. So if you don't have Flash on one device, but you know that you have it on another, you might have to switch. This is completely optional though, so you'll know more when you watch the video. And I also included an Earth Day template where you can go ahead and use this as a way for you to easily lay out your acrostic poem. It is, again, completely an option. You do not need to use this, but if you are feeling like you are a little stuck or you just like the look of it, that's fine. Print it out and upload it to Seesaw with your poem on it. But you can always just write your poem on a piece of paper or on Seesaw. It's all good. We are going to be talking about this next section at our Zoom session, but I wanted to tell you quickly that you're going to choose one poem that you've written over these last few weeks, your favorite one. You think that really reflects you as a poet and your creativity and all of those poetic devices that you've learned to use over the past few weeks. What one shows off your poetry knowledge the best? Pick that poem and you're going to create a drawing in your writing folder. We're going to talk about this today at our Zoom. And then you're going to upload it onto that Padlet. And that Padlet we talked about yesterday with Mr. Casal, I will make available to you on Friday. So for the next few days, we're just going to be working on creating our poem and the art that goes with it in our Google Drawing. So don't worry about that, getting it onto Padlet until Friday. This whole thing we're going to talk more about at Zoom, so don't even start it until after we meet. For math today, we're going to slow things down. We've included the friendly notes, which is kind of like a tutorial or a letter to you guys that revisits all of the work that we've been doing with mass and weight. So these are some kind of like review pages. This is no math that you have to do. But if you find yourself getting stuck or you want to browse through this to remind yourself of what is going on in our mass and weight unit, these are the pages that you can look for as a reference. The real work of today are these extra practice pages. You're going to go ahead, as always, and either print them out and then upload them onto your April e-learning slideshow, or you can copy and paste them each into your e-learning slideshow and use text boxes and shapes to put your answers. Now, third graders, we have been working hard to add corrections and insights into giving you feedback into your work. Please make sure when you see a correction saying, please check number 4 or redo the subtraction on number 6, please make sure you're going back and making those changes. And if you have any questions and you can't get it at that second or third look, of course, at our Zooms, you're going to ask me about it or email me and I can help you further. Okay. So this is your workbook pages. It's an extra practice book page 126 through 128. So copy and paste these into your e-learning slideshows. If you'll notice on this last page, there is a shape covering it. We do not want you to do this page. That's why there's a shape covering it. So if you print it out, do not do number 4. Okay, that's why it looks like that. All right, for science today, I've inserted this slideshow, Water Cycle Part 2, into your science folder on your drive. So go into your science folder and you're going to see Water Cycle Part 2. It's going to outline the lesson for the day. You're going to be watching a Generation Genius video on water cycle, and I know we all love those videos. So enjoy watching the wacky, fun, crazy things that he does, but he's also a really, really, really good information giver. So enjoy that. When you're done with that, you're going to answer the 4 stop and think questions that are on those slides. So you're not copying and pasting the entire slideshow, but you are going to answer these stop and think questions by copying them each into your own slideshow. This is the one the whole grade is seeing, so don't write directly on there. All right, third graders? So our questions after you watch the video are, what are the forms of water found on Earth? What happens to a puddle on a sunny day? Where do clouds come from? And where does rain come from? So answer all 4 of those questions by putting them into your own e-learning slideshow in that wonderful third grade full sentences with details from the video. Lastly, you have an optional experiment. So look closely at this own solar bowl water cycle model that you can do. Miss Boyer explains it a little bit more in her lesson, but I wanted to point that out to you. So get your kind of supplies and materials ready. Maybe team up with somebody on Zoom and do it together. And if you do create this model, you can take a video and upload it to Seesaw, take a picture and explain it. Whatever you do, show off that awesome model that you create today. But this is an option. All right, third graders? So let's go ahead and look. We've got a smart fact here that the first Earth Day was celebrated in 1970 when a senator from Wisconsin organized a national demonstration to raise awareness about environmental issues. So all these rallies started to take place across the country. And by the end of the year, the U.S. government created the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. And by 1990, 20 years later, Earth Day was celebrated by more than 140 countries around the world. So if you click on this National Geographic link, you can learn more about things that you can do to help your environment. And it shows that 1970 kids even kind of getting involved to clean the streets. So check out this article and see what you can do to help our environment. So let's look at our checklist. By the end of today, I need to complete, and there's a lot of things you can complete, but this is what you must complete by the end of the day. Chip away at your words their way. Reading 30 minutes, and included in that is reading the acrostic poems text in Epic. Write an acrostic poem and post it to Seesaw. Complete the extra practice pages 126 through 128. Watch the Generation Genius water cycle video. The link is in your science folder in water cycle 2 slides, and complete the 4 stop and think questions by copying and pasting them into your own April e-learning slideshow. So by the end of the day, you should complete all of these items. If you need to, make yourself a little checklist. We've been working hard to check and see who's completing all the assignments, and we'll check in with you today and let you know if you're missing something. But I want you to make a goal for yourself to try to get as many of these things done every day, just as we would expect as if we were in school. So, third graders, you've got a lot going on today to celebrate Earth Day. I look forward to meeting with you at 10 o'clock and talking about your poetry and our water cycle some more. So, I will see you then. Bye.